and welcome back to the Divorce TV show live stream, which is also a podcast. And I'm going to be talking now to Anna from Spain, and we'll be talking about the International Amicable Divorce Network, amongst other things, which we also have in the UK and which I'm proud to be the ambassador of.
Thank you, Susie.
Welcome, Anna, and you're the ambassador for the Amicable Divorce Network now in Spain.
Starting. Now I'm starting with that, and I'm sure that you can give me a piece of advice because it's a long way, even because of the language barrier in the psychological, cultural point of view from the US. And in Spain is different.
I have heard, and is it true that admittedly it was mainly from expats, but that the divorce system in Spain can be quite traumatic, the same of course as it can be in the UK and the US and other countries.
Yeah, absolutely. Is it the psychological point of view? Because I think in the US, at least, I don't know in UK, and you will tell me, people are more used to go to coaching or therapy or call it someone an emotional support. And in Spain, that's so.
a way to go. And with and what's your role at the moment in the divorce sort of industry, if you like, in Spain?
Okay, yeah, good question. Well, before the pandemic, before COVID, the era before COVID, I launched my own project, and back then it was a meeting point for divorced people, separated people with kids in your neighborhoods. So especially in Barcelona, I live in Barcelona, Spain, but I think in big cities it would be something that you usually need if you are an expat or someone that doesn't have family around you. And I launched it in by the end of the year 2019 for Christmas. So we made some nice activities. People, I mean, adults with kids, but separately, different in different places. And March 2020, well, everything was shut down. It was a very early stage of the project, so I couldn't continue. So I had to go back to my old job because financially it was dramatic, like many people can understand that. And then last year I came back. I mean, I started again with my entrepreneurship. Is something I always wanted. I mean, from some years ago, and when I saw you're a divorce strategist, it sounds so good. Maybe I copied it.
Spanish. What would it be in Spanish?
Yeah, in el estratega de divorcio. It sounds really like in a movie. A very interesting role. Well, I consider myself more a divorce planner because I don't do anything. I mean, I'm a victim like many other people. I consider myself, I've been a victim of the system, not the victim. When I got divorced 7 years ago, I didn't have the support. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't have any money. So I make the check in everything you can do wrong. Everything you can do wrong, I've done it.
It's the best.
Sure.
It's the best way to learn.
Yeah. Now I know. But back then it was really trauma, chaos, and well, I started my journey in also therapies, of course, and then of course lawyers and everything, and I realized 7 years later that and it's the same. I mean, because I'm still with some issues that that still are going on in my life, are ongoing, and I don't see any change in 7 years. I mean, I see many changes by myself because I had to, and I did it, and I started with personal development, and spirituality and meditation, mindfulness. I mean, it's basic for me in the day to day life. But in the system, what I see out there is exactly the same problems, and nobody did anything. So I thought, okay, uh, maybe it's my time.
Good
I
for
don't
you.
know. Maybe I heard something, or I saw signs, or something happened, and I started with the idea of collaborating, just lawyers with coaches, with real estate agents, and I wanted that, and I started to talk to people, and oh, yeah, everybody said, yeah, this is great. It's a great idea. But yeah, in Spain it's not so easy, and my background is not in business, so I I needed some help. And some months ago, yeah, I got to know Story Jones from the Tour
Yeah.
Life, and she told me about Amicable Divorce Network, and at once it was like, wow, yeah, it's my idea. I mean, I wanted to do this in Spain, so if they are already doing in the
Yeah.
US, then I'm sure that we can, yeah, well, at least we are like-minded, so
Yeah.
that's a very good, very special start point, and let's see. And she told me about in the UK now. It's I don't know when did you start it? At
Well,
least
it
when you are working on that, or how long?
well, when I first spoke to Tracy, who's the creator of the Amicable Divorce Network, she said to me, she said, Susie, you're basically doing the same thing in the UK right now. And I said, yeah, but you've got a directory and a network, and
Oh,
I want to,
nice.
you know, and I'm tired of doing it all on my own. I want to be part of a bigger network because this is a
Yeah.
movement. And it was so exciting to talk to someone who not only um, totally believes, because this is what she does, don't use court. Why would you use court? It's insane. And unless you're dealing with someone who is completely insane, and there's so many ways to stay out of it, and then to make that system, which is basically what I'd been encouraging people to do, but to kind of make it more of a formal system with an official letter that you can show to the judge to prove that you're trying to stay out of court, which has become very important here in the UK now, because the courts finally are just really getting fed up with people using the courts to financially
Oh,
bully the other person. So
yeah.
people have more opportunity now to go, look, I'm shouldn't be here. It's they're the reason I'm here. So, you know, can I have costs, please? And that's really, really important that that's starting to happen. And it's a tricky one. It's by no means guaranteed. But if you start with the amicable divorce process, if you send a letter to your spouse saying, I want to do this in a stay out of court way, then you really are making it clear that not just that that's your intention, but also you're making it, you know, more obvious if they say no, that they're just looking for trouble, and then the courts have, you know, are not going to look at that very kindly. So all of these things really, really help to keep people out
Oh,
of court. So I was very excited to be not just Tracy, but then Story with a wonderful Detour Life is amazing.
mm.
Uh, Divorce management system. It's a no-brainer, really, isn't it? So when people join my secret divorce group, support group, I pay for their subscription to Detour Life. I include it as part of their subscription because I think it's just so important, particularly the co-parenting plan template.
Yeah,
Because I
yeah.
don't know about you, I think people take either they don't do one or they leave it sort of to the end. It's like, no, do it straight away, especially as it may have financial implications on your financial settlement. Um, and the big process, and I think what's unique about Amicable Divorce Network is it puts the whole dispute resolution into a process. So we're not saying, oh, you just try mediation and if that doesn't work, you go to court. It's like, no, mediation is a very important part of this, but you need to be prepared for that and go in properly, you know, with all your financials. Don't just wander in and expect the mediator to wave a magic wand. So do your homework, be prepared, use a mediation to cut a deal, and then if you can't agree on everything, that's not a problem. It doesn't have to, because in the UK that would normally mean it all untangles, and then you have to go to court, and the court aren't interested in what you've already agreed on. So it's like you start all over again, which is bonkers. So in this way, you just go, well, the things we haven't agreed on, we'll have an arbitrator do that, a private judge. And because you've done your homework and got everything together, you don't have to pay ridiculous amounts of money because everything's kind of there and in detour life, and so it's just very practical, saves people so much money. But I think what's most important, it keeps them in control, feeling more in control of what is a very scary time in their lives. So with I'd love to know more about in Spain how it works with the system. So in the UK, a lot of people who've not been divorced, or even who have been, think, oh, you have to go to a lawyer.
Yeah.
Whereas when you come to certainly if they come to me, it's like, yeah, but you use the lawyers for very specific things,
Hmm.
um, but you might not need them as much as you think because they're not financial experts, they're not co-parenting experts, they're not mediators, though the ones we have on the network tend to also be mediators because they want to do more of that, they want to keep people out of court. So how does it work in Spain traditionally?
Yeah, in Spain, when when things when you cannot get an agreement, so you just need one lawyer to go to the court just with the agreement already set. Then the lawyer is the main role, the main figure, the person who can do everything for you, or at least we think, we thought, in my case,
Mm-hmm.
the lawyer, you rely on him, on her, and that's all. And you follow him, and you, I mean, the education here, you know nothing about
Yeah.
law. So you really trust the person you, yeah, is working for you and is your support. But yeah, as you said, they are lawyers. They only know about laws
Yeah.
and not and it's a special moment in the life of everyone who is going through. I mean, it's something. I mean, your whole world is changing, and
Mm-hmm.
just living everything, betting on red, everything on red. Okay, it depends. It depends how the professional, how professional is this person, and as in every, yeah, in every area or in every field, you have good people, professional,
Yeah.
really committed to a resolution, a positive one, and people that will, yeah, are looking, yeah, are looking for anything else. I don't know.
And as you say, it's a holistic, wide range of help you need: well-being, children, legal, financial,
Especially,
and the beauty
oh,
of the directory that you can get through being part of the Amicable Divorce Network is that everyone's vetted. And I don't know about in Spain, but I don't know anywhere in the world other than this Amicable Divorce Network where they genuinely vet the professionals who come onto it. And if someone begins to behave in a way that is just not amicable, then
mm,
if the
mhm,
Rottweiler in them just can't not come out, they
yeah,
get kicked out, and
yeah.
because they don't, they don't belong, and that's better for them as much as for everyone else. And I don't know anywhere else where that happens. So we have the family law
Yeah.
association resolution here, who
Mhm,
people sign up if they're lawyers to resolutions code of conduct, and that's all very well, but I
mhm,
don't know of anyone who's been kicked out for going, hey, I don't think mediation is going to work for you, let's go to court, even though actually mediation could work just fine for them. um, but yeah, so I think that's, for me, is one of the most important differences between this as a resource for people. And so to be able in Spain to at least to go to a space where, as Tracy says, it's not, they professionals don't, the couple don't have to be amicable, but the professionals
mhm.
need to be.
Yeah.
professionals need to want
Absolutely.
to collaborate and work together, because actually the people getting divorced, they're not friends quite often at all. And this is one
Yeah.
of the things, the misconceptions I think that people have, is that only people who are really good friends can use mediation and make it work. And of course, that's absolute rubbish. So how does mediation work in Spain? Do people know of it as a choice? Are they legally obliged to use it at any point?
Um, I think if mediation would be more popular and people would use it, maybe things wouldn't be so bad as they are now. Because they recommend, it's recommend that you get, but you don't even know how to get a mediator, because it's a lawyer. You can go to internet or ask someone, but mediator, where do I have to go, and what's that? And I mean, it's not easy. I mean, they recommend that, or at least many lawyers, and other lawyers, they say, no, I'm myself a mediator. I mean, I can try. It's like, I give it a try. If it's okay, great. If not, then yeah, I'm a lawyer, so I will get the case anyway.
Can they do that?
Either way.
Because here,
Yeah.
if you go with a lawyer who is as your mediator, you can't then, as far as I'm aware, I don't think you can just stop mediating then and go, oh, and then use them as a lawyer. So they need to have, I believe that to be the case, and I kind of assume it because it would make sense for that to be the case, because otherwise it doesn't. I don't think that would work very well. I think you have to be 100% committed to the role. Um, Having said that, with the Amicable Divorce Network, we have a collaborative law in the UK and the US. It may well have it in Spain, where you have lawyers, but they're specially trained, and you sit around the table and you work everything out. And if they happen to have mediation skills, that really helps. But you don't go to court. So
Yeah.
the issue is with that system is that if your collaborative process breaks down, you have to say goodbye to those lawyers and
Yeah.
get new
That's
ones
it.
in. So with
It's the same.
amicable divorce, it's like, because you're not giving it all over to the lawyers. I mean, if some lawyers can be, very much managing the whole thing. It depends how they want to work with their clients, but you can work with the mediators. You might bring in arbitration, but the lawyer's very much there to help facilitate. They're not looking to go to court and make a load of money out of you. It's much more of a whole collaborative process. So even with the mediation, I often encourage people to bring in a financial expert to the mediation, to bring in their divorce coach if their spouse is happy to have that person there, especially when it's on Zoom, to keep them calm, help them, keep their cool through the mediation. Treating the mediation very much like a collaborative process. So there's no reason why anyone shouldn't do those things. It's just that people haven't been doing that. But that's the thing that I'm very keen to change. And by being part of the Amicable Divorce Network, that kind of validates it, as if it should even need validation, but that they know that is a real thing. It's doing really well in the States, and other countries now, thanks to Tracy's hard work. So with the have you got mediators that you've sourced already to come into your network in Spain, or are you still looking for them?
I'm still looking for them. I mean, many lawyers, yeah, and I'm in contact with many lawyers who have said, yeah, I really think that's good. Even there is an organization, conscious lawyer,
Oh, good.
organization, something like that. So they want to separate to be uh, something new, and they told me, okay, we can support you because within, yeah, it's better that we are as much as possible to change this. And I've also found people that have said, okay, no, because I'm doing my thing and I don't want. I mean, it's but mediators, no, because it's, as I said, in Spain, it's not. You don't have. I mean, mediation is inside your. I mean, a lawyer is a mediator. Let's say that. It's not a different person, a different role, a different character, and
But do
it's
they have like
together.
specific training?
Yeah, I guess they have, because they say they are mediators, so it's
I would, I
included
would,
in.
I would check that out because mediation is a real skill, and
Yeah,
you need to have mediators who have been trained and who are ideally a part of a professional body that says, yeah, this
yeah,
person has done enough hours. They are, yeah, because your ability to cause a terrible harm is, if you
yeah.
mess it up, you really
It's
do with a difficult
so.
you know conflict. With all that conflict, you really do need to know what you're doing, and your average lawyer has no idea how to deal with that. They deal with one person, they don't deal with the other side. So if they're going to be working within the middle of two people, they have to be able to be completely independent, so they can't be a lawyer for one person and do that unless they're using the collaborative model specifically.
Yeah, and here
Mm.
in Spain it's the same. This collaborative. I mean, you can, if you are helping someone and you
Mm-hmm.
decide to do in a collaborative way, if it doesn't, if it doesn't, if you don't get to a resolution,
Mm-hmm.
then you cannot be. You have to get out,
Yeah.
and they need to look for another lawyer. Yeah, in
So
Spain.
what I would encourage you to do, because this is what when Tracy started this up in Georgia, collaborative law there basically collapsed. It didn't exist, but she thought, I want to work collaboratively. So for collaborative lawyers who are successfully using that model, and that's great, fantastic. But
Yeah.
as you start to work with more difficult people in difficult situations, why give up on them? This is what gets me, is why give up on them and go, oh, well, it hasn't worked for them, so therefore they just have to go to court. And I just think that's wrong, because actually you can help them if you've got the right people with the right skill set. So
Mhm.
it might, I think this is a model that a lot of collaborative lawyers would really, really want to know about and be involved in. Um, and either but especially if they've also if they've trained as mediators, because what they can then do is go, I am going to be the mediator in this case, not the lawyer, not going to give legal advice, I'm going to be the mediator. And for many people that is a much more happy place to be, because
Mhm.
it's a wonderful thing to be able to help bring people to agreement. If they want to remain in their, or also work in their legal role, they can be giving their legal advice, but the whole, or they
Mhm.
might be do you have arbitrators as well in Spain?
No, we don't have
Oh.
arbitrators. So it's everything is
Ah.
so concentrated. The lawyers
Yeah.
have so much power in this in this
Mm.
game that it's really difficult. No,
Mm.
I told Tracy, we don't have arbitrators,
Mm.
and that and as mediators, yeah, you have mediators, but
Do you
they
have
are
do you
not
ha-
so popular,
mm.
so people don't usually
Yeah,
go
I
to
mean,
them.
years ago they they made a big push here in the UK to raise the profile of mediation, because most people thought it was about getting back together.
Yeah,
There are still people who think that,
yeah,
but it
yeah,
is definitely much better now.
yeah.
So with do you have private judges though, where you can like pay for a judge to make a decision on your case
No, everything is from the
through
government.
the
The
main court?
judges,
Oh wow, that's
I mean, to
interesting.
justice. Sorry, I
Yeah,
said government. So
yeah.
that it is supposed to be different,
Hmm. So yeah, but
but it's
it's
not
only
so
by
different.
taking up these sort of initiatives that you could begin to maybe encourage some real change there. I mean,
Yeah,
arbitration isn't hasn't uh, been around that long as a real choice for family law here either. So, and a lot of people don't even really know that it exists as an option. So yeah, you got to start somewhere where you're
yeah,
at. But definitely, I would hope that in Spain there'll be, even if it's under commercial mediation, because as you'll probably find a lot of businesses will use it, but obviously it's a different thing when it's family law and it's a different training. But it'd be interesting to know if there are um, mediators who are really well trained who aren't also lawyers, but
yeah,
that would be a really really good to find those and get them into your network, because then you
yeah,
really start to give people a real choice. Have you, and with the co-parenting side of it, the children, which I know is very close to your heart with supporting the families, and ultimately drives me with what I do. It's I don't believe there's such a thing as a broken family. There's only an extended family.
Yeah.
So it's making sure that those families deal with this situation the best possible way, because, as you say, time does not heal. You can be angry and upset for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
So, and
If you,
you,
yeah.
yeah, and you
If
and
you
I,
don't you don't have the purpose to get better, it's on you. I mean, you
absolutely, and
can you
we've
can
both
choose.
we've both done this, our personal development and all of that stuff, which is
Absolutely.
vital. And of course, not everyone might do that, but I think this is a time in their lives where they should be encouraged to do that. So
Yeah.
traditionally here, a lot of lawyers would say to someone, oh, you're upset, go and talk to a counsellor. Whereas
Mm.
I'll say, well, yes, a counsellor can be really useful if you're in a what I call victim mode, really
Mm-hmm.
upset, angry, and you just need to rant and they won't judge you. That is fantastically useful. Just to hear you, to feel heard, brilliant. But you'll get to a point where you go, I'm bored of this. I want things to move forwards. And that's the point where I feel coaching is more relevant.
Yeah.
It's like, well,
It's a pro.
how
Yeah.
do I deal with this? How do I get from one A to B in the least horrible way possible that doesn't destroy my family? And
Yeah.
when people are in that space, yes, having that support. So the coaching side in particular is important, I think, for building the network. Have you got quite a lot of people helping with that, or is that your area of expertise?
Yeah. It's this is more my area of expertise because I'm a hypnosis therapist. Even
Mm-hmm.
if I've been doing it, but not now, not anymore. But yeah, it's. I wanted to say, yeah, I'm starting also in Spain, divorce coaches academy. It's well, there is this yeah, this character, this role of divorce coach,
Yeah.
divorce coaching. There it's also in Spain nobody knows about
Really?
it.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Yeah,
Mm.
so you see, I mean, it's a long way. Because no, there are a coach, life coach, a professional coach, and
Mhm.
everything coach, but not divorce coach. And yes,
Mm.
we're starting. Okay, we are talking now. It's like Amicable Divorce Network. I mean, I think they have to stay together and to stick together because I think it will help many professionals, many
Yeah.
lawyers. I mean, to understand and how to deal with people, yeah, going through a divorce. I mean, for the professionals, lawyers, mediators, and also for coaches or therapists who really want
Yeah.
to focus on that field, in that area. And yeah, yeah,
And
both and are
therapies.
in the US and it's
Yeah.
going to be in Spain. They are also in Saudi Arabia. I mean, if they are in Saudi Arabia,
Yeah.
in
They
in
should be in
Spain,
Spain.
not yet.
The therapeutic, the well-being side is
Yeah,
absolutely critical. We had a
yeah,
lovely
absolutely.
event in London recently for the Amicable Divorce Network UK, and I did a sort of workshop where I lined up different professionals like well-being, coaching, health, psychological health, through to financial mediation, and ask the audience to say if put them in the line, who should go first if they're introducing a client. And I gave them a case study where it's someone who's clearly dealing with a very narcissistic
No,
person.
oh,
it was a very tricky
that's a
one.
tough one.
And
Yeah.
what was interesting, and that made me giggle, but I wasn't at all surprised, that whether they were lawyers or mediators, most people put those people at the front of the process. And then when I sat everyone down, I rearranged them. So we started off with someone who deals with well-being and mindset, and I said to her, why would you be the first person to be talked to? And she was saying, well, because basically they're all over the place. They're scared. How are they going to have a proper discussion? How are they going to mediate when they're all over the place? You need to deal with that. Um, and then the financial person, who traditionally in British divorce, normally the lawyers drag them out at the end of the process to help split split the assets and investments and pensions and things. Whereas I would invite people to talk to them right at the beginning, because how else do you know how to split everything? Because people think, oh, it's the lawyer or the mediator. Well,
Mm.
surely a financial expert is the one to go through it. So you need a chartered, ideally chartered, but a financial planner who does long-term cash flow forecasting. Most people don't even know that they really
Yeah.
exist. They just think of someone who does their insurances. So there's so many holes in people's knowledge, and that's also the professionals as well. So it's about helping people be quite logical, really, is like, who is the best person for the job you need now. And it's not usually a lawyer. Lawyers can be extremely valuable,
Yeah.
especially if someone's trying to take your child out of the country, or move all the money away, or do something bad, or they're just absolutely refusing to provide information they legally should. But for a vast majority of it, it is really more finances, children, and well-being, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And in Spain, I mean, yeah, the problem in Spain is also that people are so focused on money. I mean, I don't know how much is this it's going to cost, and how much, because and it's difficult for many people to understand what well-being means. I mean,
Yeah,
nowadays it's getting better, but it's not easy to make them understand that it's for you, it's for yourself, it's for your internal peace, it's for your future. I mean,
and
now, and for
your
your children.
children. Yeah, your children. I mean, the damage to children, there's so much science to show how
Yeah,
much harm to the children, and most of that's completely avoidable. And
yeah,
would you say, though, that yeah, that you've once you've got people into understanding about this better way of doing things, um, there is a financial aspect. So absolutely, I've got on video a lawyer from quite a few years ago, an event I ran, and I said to her, can you tell everyone in the room how much it costs if they end up in court? And she's a collaboratively trained lawyer, and she said, oh, yeah, you might as well take £50,000, put it in a suitcase, and throw it on the fire. And they were like, oh, and that's easily not an exaggeration. So it's very easy to spend a lot of money the minute you start going into fights. And I get lots of people here who say, oh, my lawyer said I should take out a litigation loan so they can borrow money to pay the lawyer. And I'm like, but why?
why?
Why are you doing
Yeah,
this? You'll just have a massive debt, and you're going to fight for the next few years. Your hair's going to fall out from stress, and you're going to end up with this massive debt. So it doesn't make, and quite often I say to them, you haven't got that much money. So in fact, you're taking out a loan. So there's something very wrong here. So there's still that element to battle against here. So it's about giving people a much more economic, sensible choice. And the other thing we're looking at here is going to be talking about more fixed price. So
yeah,
bringing together the different professionals and saying, you get a certain amount of time with each one, which actually, if all goes well, maybe all you need. And so you pay that lump of money, but you're going to get the best possible and therefore quickest way to get through this. And I think it's looking very much at the needs of the clients and what they need, which often is to spend less money, do it more quickly, and to not be so traumatized by the end of it. And I imagine that there must be lots of people in Spain who would
well,
respond well to that.
yeah. I mean, if but you have to get going, and for women is okay, you have to do it, and deal with your emotions and with children and your work, and it's the way it is. No, it's not the way it
No,
is. I mean, there are people who can help you, but we are still very used to be this superwoman that nowadays is. We all know that there is no superwoman. I mean, something is wrong in our minds if we think that. I think the most responsible people here are lawyers in the first place. I mean, because they have to teach people. I mean, if a lawyer make it with works with Amicable Divorce Network, and it's something new, and
Mm,
he or she explains to the person, okay, you have this possibility, this choice, or this choice. I mean,
mm,
you choose, but this choice, this is what it is going to happen, and either way, I mean, I'm going to be here for you, and then this person will will make the right decision
mm.
and will tell other people,
Yeah.
because I've been with so many divorce separated people in groups, in meetups, in WhatsApp, whatever, because
Hmm.
you are, and in Tinder and company. I mean, of course, absolutely. I've made everything that I had to that I have to make, and yeah, then this person is going to tell in a group, hey, did you know that you can nowadays do it and yeah,
It'll grow.
yeah, little by little. I mean,
Yeah.
but I think the most responsible people are the lawyers. I mean, I'm talking in Spain,
Hmm.
or even I get to the system higher if I have
Mm.
to go, and I would go if I have. But the people who really deal with the person who are going through this process, absolutely, and because otherwise I don't know, marketing, where, yeah, of course, I mean, you also need to be everywhere, and I will do whatever it takes, and I will learn from Tracy, from you, from everybody, to do whatever it takes to bring to the most people I can.
Brilliant.
but but they are very responsible for that. I mean, the professionals that
So be collaborative lawyers primarily, I think, initially to build. That's great, and because
yeah,
it gives
I
them,
think so.
but it gives them a freedom to go beyond the collaborative constraints of the collaborative model, but still to
Yeah,
use its ethos and the staying out of court side of it. Absolutely, and I think that's what's key because it does there's strict collaborative law has its rules, which is absolutely fine, but for some people that doesn't work. And then they have something they were calling here collaborative light, which is sort of kind of round tabley version, but I think that could get quite messy, and unless you've got very experienced collaborative lawyers who are is that your cat?
yeah,
Cat, yeah, as you said hello earlier, I can see him. Very beautiful cat. Then yes, so it was I think by being part of the Amicable Divorce Network, it allows those lawyers who want to stay out of court more freedom to support clients who want to do that, even when maybe a traditional collaborative process wouldn't work for them. And I think, and to work collaboratively with all the other professionals, as you were saying, who are so important as part of the process. So I wish you masses of luck, Anna, and I look forward to seeing you on the
thank
International
you.
Amicable Divorce Network meetups,
Yeah, of course, and
networking.
in any event, I think in Barcelona will be the next big event.
Fantastic. And then, and yeah, and any questions you got, you know where I am. Come and find me. And happy, really,
Okay,
really delighted that you're doing this. I think it's something that Spain needs. The people of the
yeah,
families of Spain need. So it's yeah, it's
absolutely.
something to be very proud of.
Okay, thank you so much, and I will contact you for sure.
I'll speak to you soon, Anna. Bye for now.
Thank you.